Hey, what's up, phone lovers? Welcome to the Mobile Roar podcast for the week of July 7th, 2016. I am Joe Fidua.
I'm Chris Chavez.
And I'm Ashley King.
Welcome back. We are into July, and it is hot as bleep here.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The heat index is like 110 here.
But it didn't stop me from going out hunting for Pokémon, but we'll talk about that later.
That's crazy. It's so hot over there. It's nice and cool over here.
It's 86 degrees right now.
Oh, it's a nice room temperature outside, 71. Beautiful day.
All right, well, we hope everyone had a good 4th of July last weekend if you are in the U.S. But we're going to start this week off with some more HTC Nexus leaks and rumors.
Sexist. I call it the sexist.
So you like it? You like what you're seeing so far?
So far, yeah.
Okay. So this week we saw not a leaked render, but it was actually Android Police, I think it was. They took a bunch of information that they are hearing from their sources, and they used that information and they created a mock-up, basically. And so it's not like an official render, but it looks pretty dang close to an official render. Yeah. And they seem to be very confident in this render. And I have to say, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember, what was it, back a couple years ago, they had a nice leak on the Nexus 6.
Yep.
And their render that they made, looked pretty much identical. So I'm guessing this is probably pretty much what we can expect to see. And it looks awesome.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it basically looks like an HTC phone. You got like the antenna lines and aluminum and all that. But on the back, it's like a two-tone. So like the top third of the back is like a glossy plastic, it looks like. And then inside that area, you have like the camera and the fingerprint sensor on the rear. So it's like a cool two-tone look, almost like the 6P, except like not a price scanner.
Yeah, like if the visor was like just bigger and just went way down. It looks really, really nice.
I like it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. I'm just curious to see if it's going to be glass or plastic, the little glossy part.
Yeah, that's true. It could be glass, I suppose.
But other than that, it's flat black. I think they had some other details on it too.
What's that?
I think they did have some other details about colors and stuff. It's going to be.
Yeah, they said I think the main, like the flagship main version, whatever you want to call it, is going to be like silver aluminum. Ashley, what do you think?
I've never been interested in an HTC phone before, but now that there are rumors that they're doing the Nexus and this render, I might get it.
So you like the looks of it too?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that doesn't really. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really read the
It's a really
too much,
sleek-looking phone. There's nothing to complain about.
Yeah, I really like. It seems like we've been seeing more combinations of like materials, and I kind of like that. It's a way to make a phone look unique because all the phones nowadays are just a screen, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you like the combination of glass and metal like this is a way to make the phone look different.
Yeah. It actually reminds me a lot of, what was it, the Evo on Sprint? One of the old Evos back in the day had like the top half was glossy plastic or something, and the bottom half was just like a matte finish. So it's like, I wonder if HTC got the idea from that, their old phone. But it looks cool. It doesn't look as HTC-y as I thought it would be. And
the other
rumors about whatever Sundar Pichai saying that they're going to have more control over the design of the hardware and all that stuff. So,
well, speaking of Sundar and Google, that's one of the things about this. This is one of the things that Android Police isn't quite as sure on, but in their mock-up that they made, instead of it saying Nexus on the back, it's just the new G logo. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah. I mean, if there's no Nexus on the back, then that means it's not going to be called Nexus. I feel like they might be finally just ditching the Nexus branding altogether. And
Hasn't it been rumored that they were going to get rid of that for like a really long time?
A long time.
Yeah, they're gonna make their own Google phone, but it's like you're still getting a hardware partner to build it for you and all this stuff. So like, what is that? What did that rumor mean exactly? And I'm guessing it's just they're going to be ditching the Nexus name
So,
because
what if they went with HTC again because they're going to do like a G1 refresh, like a throwback? Like this is a reset of the G1.
that
So
would
this
be
would be
cool.
like there was the G1, there was the G2. This could be the G3. Was there a G3?
Well, no, I think
That would be funny.
T-Mobile owns the
Ah.
G whatever name, so they couldn't call it a G whatever. But like back then, it was just they had the actual code name or the real name for it, which was like Dream and some of these other ones. So yeah, they couldn't call it that. But I'm guessing maybe it's just gonna. I don't know what they're gonna call it, but it doesn't seem like they're gonna be calling it Nexus. If there's no Nexus branding on the back and it's just a big little G.
Well, like I said, they did say that this is one of the things that they're not
Yeah.
really for sure on, so it could easily still just say Nexus.
I mean, usually you have like on Nexus, you have like it's got the big letters going all across the back, and then now you have it like sectioned off between like the glossy glass and the other part. It's how are you gonna fit the Nexus unless it's just smaller font? And,
I could honestly see them just putting the G on it and still calling it Nexus. I mean, there's no rule that it has to physically say Nexus on the back.
I mean, yeah, I guess there's no rule, but it's just always been done that way.
So true.
I don't know.
I mean, Samsung is like really the main manufacturer that like writes the actual full name of their phone on the back, and that's probably just because Apple does it. I mean,
I like that
HTC
reason.
doesn't like write
Yeah.
HTC 10 on the back of their phone or something, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I never really thought about that.
I guess LG does it. They put G5, G4.
Yeah,
I don't know.
usually pretty subtle, very small letters in the back, like a little tramp stamp, but.
All right, so we'll probably be learning more about that in the coming weeks, I am sure, but I'm excited. Oh, and there's two models, too, Marlin and Sailfish, and apparently they're both going to look pretty similar.
Yeah,
'Cause
one's just
in
gonna
their
be the
post it
bigger
says,
version.
which Nexus is this? And they say both. So,
Yeah, just expect a bigger
different
version.
proportions.
Mhm.
All right, so moving on, Pokemon Go. We've talked about this a lot on the podcast, and it's finally official. The APK came out earlier this week, and then now it's actually live in the Play Store for the US. I don't think it's available for like the UK and
No, not
Canada
yet.
Yeah. So I downloaded it when the APK leaked, and I have the
I
official
did too.
version
I was
now.
excited to play around with it.
I'm just gonna say right off the bat, I have no clue about Pokemon.
I've played a lot of Pokemon, but I'm not like Chris's girlfriend is like into breeding and all kinds of crazy. I don't get
Breeding,
that
oh
far
God, that
into
sounds
it.
She's
weird.
into breeding.
See, I don't even say it right. I say Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon.
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 So yeah, I never watched the TV show. I never really played the card game. I had like a few cards as a kid that were just like duplicates from my friends. I never actually like bought any cards. So I don't really know much, but I downloaded this game and I have to say it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so it's all new to you. It's fresh. That's cool. I wish I could.
I mean, I know like the classic characters. Like when I saw Squirtle, I was like, "Oh, hey, Squirtle," you know.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
Squizzle. That's
I feel like
Squizzle
it's
Turtle.
the Pokemon formula needed to make Ingress a success because, yeah, it's pretty fun. And when I first downloaded Ingress, I was like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be joining some team. It was really
Right.
confusing. But for people that are already familiar with Pokemon, you can say, "Oh, I just got to go out and catch Pokemon. All right, I'll do that."
Okay, that
That's
makes
totally
sense.
true because even me not knowing Pokemon, I downloaded it and yet I still kind of had an idea of what you do in Pokemon.
Yeah,
Like
I
you
know.
go
To catch
catch
them all.
things.
To catch them. All of them.
So yeah, if anyone hasn't downloaded it, it is kind of like Ingress where you download the app and it puts you on a map and then like you can kind of look around. There's these things called Pokestops which you can go to. I went to one earlier today and it was pretty weird. I was the only one there. I was kind of nervous there were going to be a bunch of like 10-year-old kids like catching Pokemon. But I was the only one there and I got a few Pokeballs and I caught a Zubat. so that was cool. It took me
What
took me
is
like
the
10
Pokestop? I don't
throws.
get it.
Huh?
'Cause the Pokemon are just littered everywhere, right? Like in your
Yes,
Right.
city.
they pop up, and like
So
some grass rustles, and if you head towards it, they'll pop up out of the grass.
Yep. You don't have to go to
Ah.
a Pokestop to catch Pokemon.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
just like wandering around in the tall grass in the game, like you actually do it in real life.
Yeah.
So
The
what's the
things you can
Pokestop
get,
do?
the things you can get from the Pokestop is so like it gave me I got 3 extra Pokeballs when I went there, and I think sometimes you might run into like more rare Pokemon.
Hmm.
I'm not for sure, but there is like a benefit to go into the
Oh, okay.
Pokestops.
So yeah, there's a benefit of getting out of your house and going to a Pokestop to get some
The only
Yeah.
thing
cool stuff.
that's kind of iffy about the game is you have to get to level 5 to actually do gym battles and get serious about it, so you have to put a little bit of effort into it before you can start having fun with it.
Yeah, like so
That's cool. I'm with that.
I've caught 14 Pokemon and I'm still not even at level 4. So it definitely does take a lot of work to get up to level 5 to be able to do more stuff, which I think could be a deterrent for some people.
Yeah, most people are expecting instant gratification, and this game doesn't really have that. I mean, if you just want to go out and catch Pokemon, sure, but if you want to do the gym battles and the Foursquare takeover kind of stuff that Ingress was about, you can't do that.
Yeah, and that's where the real meat of like the game is, right? The gameplay and stuff is doing the whole gym battles and
Yeah, because
because
then you like
right off the
join a
bat you
team.
can't you can't make your Pokemon fight right now, can you?
No,
No, you
you
can't
have
do
to.
anything. You
No.
can improve their what is it called? CP. What does that stand for? Something power, maybe? Combat power.
Oh.
You can improve that, and you can evolve them without being on level 5. So, like, I caught a crap ton of Pidgeys, so I was able to evolve one of them to, I don't know, what's the next level up from a Pidgey?
Pidgeotto.
Pidgeotto.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. So I was able to do that, but yeah. Oh, and the other thing, you don't really have to leave your house too much to catch Pokemon. Like, I caught 9 or 10 just in my own house.
Jeez.
And I've heard, Chris, I think you shared a post like somebody caught 15 while sitting on their toilet.
Yeah. It's like I didn't have to leave my toilet. Just find them everywhere. Look in the toilet. Oh, there's a Pokemon.
Yeah, there's like an item called incense that you can use, and then when you use it for like 30 minutes, it will draw Pokemon that are near you, like directly towards you, and then you can just catch them. So, yeah.
There are microtransactions in the game, though. Have you looked at them?
Oh?
I have not. You can use them to buy Pokecoins, correct?
Yes.
And what do you use the Pokecoins for?
Stuff with succotash.
You can buy extra Pokeballs. I think you can buy the incense.
Oh, okay. So you basically, if you want to, you can use real money
It's
to
like
be
you
lazier.
having to spend your own money to go to Pokemart and buy your supplies.
Well, here's my question. How do you earn the Pokecoins without buying them with real money? Because I
don't
like I
know
said,
that
I've
it's been
caught
revealed yet.
Okay. I've bought like a ton of, or I've caught like a ton of Pokemon, but I haven't earned any coins.
Like maybe you get coins as a reward from gym battles. I don't know.
That's true. Weird. But yeah, I would say it's a pretty cool game so far. One thing you were saying, Ashley, that you don't seem to have very much Pokemon near you.
Yeah, I fired up the app and I was like, okay. So I walked around my house for a little bit. Nothing popped up. I didn't see any grass or anything. So I took the dog on a walk and I took her about a half mile before I saw a Pokemon. Seriously.
So it didn't give you a Pokemon like right off the bat in your house?
I mean, yeah, there was the Squirtle and the Charizard and, the starter Pokemon. But after that,
Oh, that was one thing I was going to say. I never... So you said you had a Squirtle, a Charizard to choose from for starter?
And a Bulbasaur, yes.
And a Bulbasaur. I never had that.
You never
Because
got
I
to
would have
choose
totally
starter?
chosen Charizard. But
Yeah, I chose Charizard.
For some reason, I was just given Squirtle.
Wow. They let me choose which one I wanted, and I chose Charizard.
Yeah, I totally would have just chosen Charizard.
I thought that's how they explain how to catch the Pokemon, because, when you're catching them, the balls have real physics. Like, you have to actually flick and get them to go where the Pokemon is.
Yes, that's one thing that actually is difficult. So when I went to the Pokestop today, there was a Zubat, and Zubats fly. And so this Zubat is, like, flying around. I'm standing in this parking lot. taking like 5 minutes to catch this stupid Zubat.
The best part is like everyone posting the stuff on Twitter right now, and everybody seems to be playing the game, and I guess that's kind of why like the
I've had
servers have an
Pokemon
issue.
actually like dodge the ball. Like I was trying to catch a Fearow, and that's an evolved version of a something, I don't know.
Some of them will dodge. I was
Yeah.
reading there's a way that you can throw like a curveball and you get more XP if you hit it with a curveball, but I'm not quite sure how you do that.
There's a technique? That's
Yeah, there's
cool.
a lot more to this game than on the surface.
I mean, I still don't like that you just keep flinging the Pokeball and then just hope that, you know, you're going to hit him in the head and catch him. I wish there was a little more. I mean, I guess there is with the curveball, but I wish
I
there was
wonder
a way
if
to,
you
like,
miss
keep
a
the
certain amount of
working down.
times if they like run away.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like if you just couldn't, like I can't get them, or if they're like dodging, that would be cool. Or
Charmander jumps.
What have you thought about the AR, Ashley? Like, do you think it actually looks sort of realistic?
It does, yeah. But while I was walking my dog, when it goes on the capture screen, it briefly takes a picture of your background, and my dog was moving in the background, so my picture at that time was just a big white blur.
people
funny.
are posting stuff like the guy's in the hospital with like his like wife
Yes, I
is
saw
literally
that.
pregnant. He's just like, I'm just here trying to catch Pokemon. It's like a little Pokemon right by his pregnant wife in the hospital bed. It's awesome.
The AR looks pretty good when you're like outside, but in my house sometimes it looks really stupid. So yeah, I would say Pokemon Go is pretty fun right now, and like I said, if you don't know anything about Pokemon, don't let that be a deterrent. You can still probably figure it out because
You can learn.
yeah, that is a good point. Like I've only been playing it for a few hours, and I feel like I'm learning more about Pokemon than I knew like in my entire life. So
Mhm.
Yeah. Justin just sent me a comment and he says it's Charmander, not Charizard.
oh,
So,
that's
yeah.
the first one.
Yeah, it is Charmander.
See, I still would have took Charmander because that is one of the things I remember from a kid. Charmander can become
Yeah.
Charizard.
Mhm.
Charmander.
All right, moving on. So last week we talked about Android Nougat. We didn't know what number it was going to be, but now we do know, and our guess was correct. 7.0.
A full version number jump.
And we were saying last week we think it is big enough to be a full version number. Some
Yeah.
people don't.
Some people don't, which is, I mean, I don't think they played around with it yet because it's, you know, it's only in beta and this and that, and they're like, well, I've seen a couple of the features listed and, you know, it's whatever, but it's pretty substantial, I'd say. I'd say it's a bigger jump than it was from going from Lollipop to Marshmallow, but it's there. It's a big version, and I think that's probably going to be the trend now. Is you're just going to see every new version of Android just jump a full number. Because before it was just getting way too weird and complicated. 4.0
Yeah, it was
Jelly
kind of
Bean,
strange.
4.4 Kit Kat, 4.3 Jelly Bean. Like that was weird.
I think, yeah, it was weird to have the small increment updates and give them a new name.
yeah,
Like, I think if you want to do like, 7.1, 7.2, that's fine, but don't give it a new name unless it is a new number.
didn't
I
it
agree
kind of
with
just not tarnish the image, but I think it just kind of gave people a weird feeling when they just saw like, oh, it's only a 0.1 up like version upgrade, and it must not be that great or whatever. So yeah, a full number just sounds better. I think that's what what's it called? iOS. I think iOS does that, right? Every new
I'm
version
actually
jumps up a
not
full number.
sure. The latest one is iOS 9, right? No,
Yeah,
10.
10. It's
Yeah.
coming out. So yeah, I think they do that too. So it just makes sense, really.
All right, so did you guys see this Huawei kerfuffle?
I didn't.
Oh yeah, the P9 thing.
Yeah, so
Ah.
Huawei posted
Okay,
on
interesting.
Google Plus. They post like a photo, and they didn't explicitly say this was taken with the P9, but it was heavily inferred. But of course, Google Plus shows camera information when you post photos. And what camera did they actually use to take this photo? A Canon EOS, which is a pretty expensive
Yeah.
DSLR.
It was like a Mark III or something. It was like a $3,000 camera. So
It was a $3,000 camera, plus it shows the lens that they used, which was like 1,000, like $1,500 camera. So like in total, it was almost $5,000 of camera equipment
Just
take
to
this
achieve
photo.
that shot. Oh man, yeah, that was pretty much like egg on their face. And I mean, like to be fair, like Huawei's huge in China, multi-billion-dollar company and all that. But like in the U.S., they have a pretty small team out here. So whoever their social media guy is, probably just didn't think it through all the way. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have a job anymore, but that's pretty embarrassing. Because I mean, there was stuff. What was it? People made a big uproar over what was it? I think it was Nokia or someone that did it back in the day.
Yeah.
It was like some photos or something Nokia did, and you could see the reflection in like
Oh,
a
yeah,
car,
yeah.
and it was like a guy holding like some giant camera rig, and it was like that wasn't shot on a Nokia. What are you guys doing?
So here's the caption that they put on Google Plus. Tell me if you think that this is implying that it was taken with the P9. We managed to catch a beautiful sunrise with deliciously Ella. The Huawei P9's dual Leica cameras make taking photos in low light conditions like this a pleasure. Reinvent smartphone photography and share your sunrise pictures with us.
Wow.
They're basically saying they took
Yeah.
it with the friggin' P9.
Like
didn't
this, and they
say-
hold up this picture.
They didn't say, "Hey, this was taken with the
Yeah.
P9," but they
Like
basically did.
legally they covered their ass, but like it's so heavily.
So here's their
inferred.
response after people like found out what they did. They said, "It has recently been highlighted that an image posted to our social channels was not shot on the Huawei P9. The photo, which was professionally taken while filming a Huawei P9 advert, was shared to inspire our community. We recognize, though, that we should have been clearer with the captions for this image. It was never our intention to mislead. We apologize for this and have
That was
removed the image."
exactly your intention.
Yeah, it was never our
Wow.
intention. Bull crap.
Yeah, I mean, they would have been better off just saying, "Well, we never said technically," and then people would have been like, "Well, yeah, that's true. I guess I never really did technically say."
We have to inspire our community, guys. Let's take a great photo.
All 5 people that bought the P9 in the U.S. Like, come on.
Yeah. Oh gosh. All right. So we gotta talk about Snapchat. Chris
Yes.
is our resident Snapchat
I
expert.
feel like I'm
now.
a pro now. I know all the ins and outs, but yeah.
So I'll hand it over to Chris to describe their newest feature.
So Snapchat yesterday announced memories. So like before this update that's out, I guess today for a lot of people, but you would always be able to swipe from the camera screen. You could swipe down and go to your profile, left goes to your chat, right goes to like this whatever, but you've never been able to swipe up, like to go down from the camera screen, but now you can, and that's where the new memory section is. And basically all it is just a gallery for all your stories that you post, but they're now saved and backed up to Snapchat servers in the cloud. So it's pretty cool, because before you would have to, every time you send a snap, you'd have to hit the download button and download it to your device, and then if you get a new phone, I mean, you have to either transfer those photos or they just be gone or whatever. But now it's just like stored in Snapchat's cloud. And you can take those old photos and you can repost them, something you couldn't do before. So if you took a bunch of photos over the weekend, you can also grab those from your camera gallery, just your regular smartphone gallery, and you can upload those to a story as well. So that means you don't have to rely on using the Snapchat camera to post everything. So it's kind of good and bad in some ways, because sort of the appeal and draw of Snapchat was being able to capture stuff, and everything that you saw was taken in that moment using the Snapchat camera. But now it's like you can kind of just take photos, edit them however you want, or chop up videos and do all this crazy stuff, and now you can upload them.
So here's my question about how that works, because
Oh,
I know older photos that you do that with, they put like a frame around it so that you can tell like,
Yes.
this is an old photo. Is there like a time limit or something? Because, like, say I took a picture with my regular camera like right now, and then the
Mhm.
very next thing I did was upload it to Snapchat. Would it still have the frame on it?
Yes, it would. It just
Even though I
shows
took
that,
it right this minute,
yeah, like
it would
this
still
very
have the frame.
second. It'll always show that it was like an upload or whatever, and it does that by just showing that weird frame border thing. Only snaps that you taken through the Snapchat camera won't have any of the frame. It'll just be the regular photo.
Darn. The way that I first read it, I thought that it only did the frame thing, like if the picture was from like more than a day ago or something. But now that I think about it, how would they know that if you're just uploading a photo?
Yeah, exactly. So it's neat. I'm just afraid of. I'm actually going to try to do it a little bit later, but I'm going to try to upload just some stupid GIFs and stuff that I found online. Just kind of afraid that that's what people are going to be posting now, just a bunch of dumb memes and funny screenshots of things they saw on Twitter, or just I don't know, all that crap that's already on Facebook and Instagram and all that. It's like that's what kind of separated Snapchat from all that, was that this was like so much more candid and real. So I don't know. I guess we'll see once it fully rolls out to everyone. But other than that, I think it's a pretty cool feature. Aside from the camera roll thing, I think I could have probably lived without the camera roll uploads. But as far as storing your snaps in the cloud, and there's options too, so you can set it to where every time you post to my story, like at the end of the day, it'll auto save to your memories.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
cool.
actually something I think they should have had a while ago. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Just scroll back and see all the things that you put as your story.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of what Memories does. Is it kind of addresses some of the, I guess, bigger complaints people have had, and it's like, oh shoot, I saved something to my story, but I forgot to download it. Now it's gone forever. Because after 24 hours, your snaps are just automatically deleted, and if you didn't remember to go to your story and download them, then they would just be gone. So.
Yeah, see, that's what I was hoping the frame thing I was talking about, because that is something I do a lot. Is I take a photo with Snapchat and then I send it off, and I'm like, oh crap, forgot to save that. I wish I had that.
Yes. See.
And so I was
cool.
thinking like, oh, well now I can just use my regular camera app, take all my photos, and then when I want to upload it to Snapchat, I can just do that. But I don't want all my snaps to have like that stupid frame around it. So I don't know how to do it.
It is a pretty thick frame. I mean,
It
the
is. I
photo
saw
is
yours from
like-
earlier.
It's like holy crap. Yeah. So that's the only thing, I guess. It won't look as full screen and nice, but I wonder if the resolution is better. Probably not. They probably still probably still butcher the quality. But yeah, that's kind of it. And there's just been like a lot of confusion and stuff. People didn't know what Memories was, and people thought it was like your profile, and that anybody can go into your memories and see all your memories that you've like. People are so confused, and they're like, "What in the world? It's saving everything, and people can look at it." And it's like, "No, stop." And people thought that you could save other people's snaps to your memories, and it's like, no, because it's not your memory.
I mean, the same basic Snapchat rules still apply.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just arguing with people on Reddit for the better portion of last night. It was awful.
Chris, the internet warrior for Snapchat.
It's so frustrating. I'm never posting anything to Reddit ever again. No more comments for me.
All right, next two things, just going to mention quickly. Moto Z Droid Edition for Verizon is coming on July 14th. And then the Amazon Echo now allows you to pick Spotify or Pandora as your default player, which is nice
That
for
would make
people
me more
who use that.
interested in one.
Yeah, for sure. Last little bit of news. So last week we gave AT&T a hard time for blatantly copying T-Mobile's Get Thanked campaign with their Ticket Tuesdays and stuff. I was contacted by someone from AT&T, and they said, actually, AT&T announced this a while ago. And I was like, what? No, they didn't. And so they actually gave me a press release, and sure enough, they announced in a press release on June 2nd that they were starting AT&T Thanks. And June 2nd is the same day that T-Mobile announced that they were having an Un-carrier 11 event. So technically,
this is interesting.
Same day.
Well, it was the same day, but technically T-Mobile's event wasn't until several days after that.
Yeah, it wasn't announced. I wonder.
So AT&T technically and technically is all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
They announced the thanks promotion before T-Mobile did, which is bizarre because I saw so many articles on the internet on that day that we complained saying the same exact thing, but because T-Mobile had a big flashy event and AT&T only sent out a press release, everyone thinks that AT&T copied T-Mobile.
Man.
The thing that we were talking about, we thought that they started it last week, but they actually had announced it, like I said, beginning of June, but they just didn't start it until last week. So, yeah, that was weird.
So they announced it first, and they got the jump on that, but it didn't actually roll out.
I mean, they announced they called it Ticket Tuesdays. They announced AT&T Thanks. Both things that we gave them a hard time for ripping from T-Mobile for the names, but T-Mobile actually named it Ticket Tuesdays or whatever, T-Mobile Tuesday after the fact.
Who?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
It is a weird thing because you have to know that T-Mobile knew what they were going to call these things because they already had announced that they were going to have an event.
Exactly. Yeah, they didn't just think of it on the fly, so that's true. So maybe somebody at T-Mobile leaked something to AT&T, or I think even
that's what I'm thinking. Like, what happened? Like, are they trying to outdo each other, or what's going on?
Yeah. So you think maybe AT&T caught wind of this and then just sent out a press release to beat T-Mobile to the punch?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the day of, they already knew what it was going to be. Because I think EV-Leaks did leak something about that, like the new. Yeah, he did actually, and it was like weeks or maybe even a month before, ahead of time, before T-Mobile even said anything. So I think maybe they were just following. AT&T was following EV-Leaks, and they were just like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to crap on AT&T unnecessarily, but it doesn't seem like something AT&T would just do out of the blue. Be like, we should really thank our customers. Like, no, that's not an AT&T thing to do.
It's like so similar. Like, really?
Yeah, it's quite a bizarre situation. We'll never probably know what exactly happened, but yeah, there you go.
We stand corrected, technically.
Yes, do with that information what you will.
I mean, it's like, what was it, like the whole Samsung and like Apple stuff, and whenever there's rumors about, the new iPhone's going to have this or that, then you see all these other companies trying to get the jump on it before Apple does and be like, see, we did it first. We technically did it first, but that's all based off of like rumors and speculation and all that stuff.
All right, so moving on. Throwback Thursday for this week. So what I wanted to talk about for Throwback Thursday this week is 1 gigahertz processors. Why 1 gigahertz processors? Nowadays, I feel like we don't care quite as much about the gigahertz as we.
That's all that mattered back in the day. It was just
I remember, yeah.
And so I specifically, vividly remember the first phone that had a 1 gigahertz processor. I believe it was the Evo 4G. And this was a very big deal. And for like probably the next year, every good phone had a 1 gigahertz processor. If you didn't have a 1 gigahertz processor, no one cared. We're talking single core, by the way. Single core, 1 gigahertz processor. This was like the pinnacle of smartphones for a year.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy.
If your phone didn't have 1 gigahertz, trying to overclock your CPU on your old G1 or whatever to get close to that. Like, I can overclock it to like 800 megahertz. And it really didn't do much for the performance at all, but it was just like, it made you feel better knowing that you were a little bit closer. But yeah.
It was just like this magic number that people decided was what you had to have. 1 gigahertz.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it with like RAM later and stuff like that. And even today, it's just like, I feel like people put a little too much importance on just the raw specs and hardware on a lot of these phones, and it's like, that does not a good phone make.
It's so funny because I'm glad that it's changed and processors. Like, really, we never even write about dual core anymore or quad core.
Yes, who cares about the cores
We always
anymore?
just like, yeah, it has a Snapdragon 820. Oh, okay, that's good. It's
got
never
a
like,
lot- it's
yeah,
got
it
a lot
has
of cores.
2.3 gigahertz quad core, octa-core, blah blah.
Yeah.
No, like,
Like what? It only has a quad core? No.
I mean, back in the day, 1 gigahertz would be like in the title of the article. Like
Yes.
this is the most important thing.
And cores. And then cores after that, it was all about the cores and stuff. So, it's weird. It's weird now that we don't even really have to talk about that.
It's nice. It's funny. I just did a search on Fandroid for 1 gigahertz, and like tons of articles come up with that in the title.
It was the thing. It was
What
the
year are they from?
Oh gosh, here's one
2012?
for gingerbread. 2010.
Oh!
Wow.
Jeez Louise.
Huawei Vision packs Android 2.3 1 gigahertz CPU into unibody design.
What?
What? I will buy that right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. There are probably a lot of people listening to this who have never had a phone less than that, and like my first phone didn't even have a 1 gigahertz processor.
I need a T-shirt that says that my first phone only had 528 megahertz.
Yep. Yeah, a T-shirt that says "I remember megahertz."
only 2,000 kids will remember.
Only 2010 kids will remember.
1 gigahertz.
That's hilarious. They should tweet that from the Fandroid account. All right. So that is our Throwback Thursday for this week. If you'd like to send us ideas for Throwback Thursday, hit us up on email, podcast@fandroid.com, or on Twitter @MobileRoarCast. So without further ado, we'll do our wins and fails of the week. Mine is going to be a lot of what I've already said about Pokemon. Let's see if I can say it right. Pokemon.
Struggle so much.
I do. I feel like an old person.
Yeah, it's like when like your parents try to say Nintendo or something.
Have you-
the Nintendo?
Yeah. You've been on the YouTubes? Yeah. Pokemon. I'll never say it right. Whatever. Pokemon. So yeah, I downloaded it, and like I said, I don't know very much about Pokemon, and I still found it pretty fun. And I downloaded Ingress a while ago, and Ingress was never able like to get me to actually go out and check out like the portals or whatever they call it in that game. It never was that interesting to me, but yet I downloaded Pokemon Go, and for some reason I felt inclined to actually go to a Pokestop. So I guess the game has that going for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Joe's gonna do gym battles.
Yeah.
I know.
Just wait
See,
till
that's
that
the weird
one.
thing. So it will be interesting to see now if I get to level 5 if the gyms do have like other people
This
showing
is gonna
up,
be
because
so funny to see Joe
when there
He's
are
gonna become
real
a
people
Pokemon
at
master.
these places,
battling kids.
I'm gonna be so awkward, and I'll probably stop playing.
It's gonna be a horrible experience.
It's gonna be like 12-year-old kids. They're like, "Are you playing Pokemon Go too?" No.
No, it's
Just
gonna be
here
weird when you see full-grown adults there, and you guys are all ashamed at like what
That's
you're
true, they
doing,
probably will be.
battling each other.
So I'm gonna keep playing, and maybe next week I'll have a more funny stories. So my fail is going to be Snapchat updates are the worst on Android. This has nothing to do with memories. That feature is cool, but so they announced this yesterday, and of course, what I do, first thing I do, go to the Play Store and see if I have the update. Oh, yep, I have the update. Changelog says introducing memories. Oh, cool. Hit update. Open up Snapchat. Absolutely the same. No new features. Okay. And that same thing happened 3 times that day. The Snapchat was updated 3 times. Changelog says memories. And every time, no new features whatsoever. And I have talked about this on the podcast before. It happens all the time. They send an update. The changelog says that this newly announced feature is there, and it's not there. I don't get it. Why they keep doing this? You don't have it, do you, Chris?
I got like 5 updates.
But you didn't get mentions or memories, right?
No, there was one the day of, and then it said that it was coming out, so I was like, oh, maybe you update, and then it's going to be a server-side switch. But then there was like 2 more updates after that. I'm like, I feel like I've been updating this app like all day long, but I think I got just like 2 updates or 3.
It's
2 or
very
3.
frustrating.
Yeah. It was just like, what are you guys doing back there? And actually, I saw somebody post on Reddit that their memories, once they updated on one of those updates, they went back into Snapchat, and it was the employee version.
What?
They dog food. So it said it had like a prompt in the beginning, like, hey, like Snapchat employees, something about Snapchat employees, like don't post anything don't post, and they had like a secret code name for memories. I forget what they called it. But they said don't post anything to stories yet because people are going to be wondering why you have that like border or something. I don't even know what. And the guy's like, I don't understand what this is. And it's like, oh shoot, they sent out a dog food version. So
That's crazy.
I think that's when they updated it again. They were like, oh shoot, they had to like re-update and get everything back on the regular version. So
Snapchat, get your bleep together. I'd rather just not have the update teasing me that I have a new feature. So, yeah. All right, Chris, do you have any wins and fails for us, or should we return to?
Yeah, go on, Ashley. And then I'll think of something.
I just have to say, Square Cash is amazing. Like, I don't carry cash with me ever. I just carry my debit cards. I'll maybe have a 20. So sometimes when we go out to eat with a bunch of friends, instead of dividing the check, I'll just be like, okay, everybody just pay me, and then we'll pay the bill that way. And it works. It's great.
Cool. Yeah, I never used that. I think, what was it? Did Kevin used to talk about Square Cash? Was that?
Yes, that's the whole reason why I got it was because of Kevin.
If you could get your friends, like I got my hairdresser using it because she doesn't. All she takes is cash, and I'm like, look, just take this kind of cash. And I showed her how it worked. showed her how to set it up, and she was like, oh wow, and I can do this with anybody that has this. And I was like, yeah. You can. And she's like, I'm gonna start selling it.
Seriously, the people are always so amazed when, like, you can send money, for free or whatever, like online. Like they just don't understand it. Like there's apps for that and all that stuff. And then
or they'll be afraid of it. She's like, so nothing's gonna happen, right? I'm like, no, nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's the funniest thing. What was it? My fiance's brother who lives with us, he has to like pay rent, for us, for the months or whatever, and he's always trying to get cash. And I'm like, dude, just set up Square Cash, man. It's like so easy. And he was just so like hesitant for the longest time, and he just didn't want to do it. And yeah, he still hasn't actually. They just think like nobody trusts it or knows what it is, and it's like, are they gonna steal my money, steal my bank account information? And, dude, it's just so simple. So simple.
I think there's such a thing as like app fatigue almost.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to download another freaking app.
Yeah.
That's what I get a lot of times because I haven't downloaded Square Cash, even though you guys have like praised it so much.
always talking about it.
But it's just like,
there's Google apps that do
freaking app.
the same thing. I mean, that's how my girlfriend is too. I always tell her like, "Hey, download this app. It just came out. It's great." And she's like, like doesn't want to download another app. And it's weird because back in the day you had the app boom, like when the iPhone first came out, and it's like there's an app for that, and everyone's like, there's an app for that, and they just have like a billion apps that do like the stupidest stuff just for farting.
Like so back in the day it was there's an app for that, but nowadays I feel like the saying is here's the 50th app you've used for that.
There's an app that covers those apps or something, so now you only need one app to cover all those other things or something, like consolidating
them. Did you know
them.
there's an app for that? It's like, yeah, I've tried like 20 of them. What's the point? It's not special anymore. All right, Chris, did you come up with any wins and fails?
I mean, I have a fail, and it's kind of disappointing because I just read it earlier right before the podcast started, but Google is dropping their they have a local guides program that you can sign up for in your area, and basically you just leave lots of like restaurant reviews and They send you questions that pops up in Google Maps every now and again, like, does this restaurant,
Oh,
serve
that's what that is? That's local
takeout?
guides?
Yeah, so once you apply to be a local guide or you sign up for it, they were offering you an extra terabyte. Once you hit level 4, I think I'm at like level 3, and they were offering you an extra terabyte of Google Drive storage, which was phenomenal. That was my main motivation for doing it, because otherwise I don't really care. But they just announced that they're going to be dropping that terabyte of storage down to 100 gigabytes, which is substantially less. That's like 90%?
Yeah, 90% less.
That's insane. But yeah, so they're going to continue giving people who are already at level 4 the terabyte, but if you signed up before July 7th, you can still lock in that original terabyte, but only if you reach level 4 by July 21st, which means I'm going to have to like really crack down and start reviewing some stuff.
That's weird. I've gotten those pop-ups where it's like, it'll ask me a place that I just visited, like, does it have Wi-Fi? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
But
the local guide stuff.
I never opted into local guides, and I'm on the site right now, and it says join. So
join, because don't do that for free. Don't do it.
I usually just ignore them, because yeah, that's weird. I totally never opted into getting those.
Interesting. Yeah, this guy says he's been a level 4 guide for a while and he never got the drive storage thing, which is really weird. That's odd. And my win for the week is going to be the OnePlus 3 update that's going out. Supposedly OnePlus has fixed that RAM issue and stuff, and we saw them announce it a while back that it was going to be going out to review units. Which mine is a review unit. I never got that update either, and they said, once that goes according to plan, there's no bugs or anything, then they're going to start pushing it out to everyone else. And then on Monday, they announced that the update was starting to roll out to users, which was awesome. I got super excited because it fixed the RAM issue, so now they're using more of the 6 gigabytes of RAM, not just using like half of it, which is pretty darn awesome. And then there's some camera fixes and some miscellaneous stuff as well. But they actually pulled the update because they found some issues that people were having when updating, so that's a little bit disappointing. But the win is still that they did speedily introduce this update, and they rolling it out in a relatively timely manner, and it does fix probably the biggest, I don't even know if you would call it a flaw with the phone, but it does fix it and make an already almost perfect phone even better. And I love the OnePlus 3. Still loving it. It's great.
Cool. All right, app picks for this week. My app pick is called ASAP Launcher, which is, as you might have guessed, a launcher. So ASAP Launcher is a little bit like Action Launcher and Yahoo Aviate Launcher. It's kind of like a mix between those two. So it doesn't have like a traditional app drawer. Your apps are like in a vertical list that slides out from the side, and then you can like search that list. And then there's a dock in the bottom, and the dock, like the first top 5 icons are just like static, like a regular dock. But then there's 2 rows under that show like the apps that you've recently used, and you can like pin apps there if there's an app that you like always want to have saved there. And then there's these things called cards, so like you can swipe left to right on the pages, and you'll have like there's like a weather. It's called a card, but it's essentially just like an entire page of your home screen dedicated to weather, and it kind of looks like the Google Now weather thing. And then there's like a page for calendar, and you can have a to-do list, favorite contacts. It's just a really cool looking. It's like material design. You got cool material design animations. It's just a really cool, simple launcher that is geared towards finding the app that you want to use quickly. I've been trying it out for the last couple of days, and I like it a lot. It's free, but if you want to unlock more of like the customization options, like different themes, like for example, you can have a theme that will automatically change day to night. So like at night it's dark. Then you can use like an icon pack. So if you want to unlock that customization stuff, it's $1.42, but you can use it for free too. It's called ASAP Launcher. It's pretty cool. It's very new app too. There's only like I think less than 5,000 downloads right now, so check it out if you're interested in that.
Cool.
Check it out. My app pick, or game pick, is going to be Final Fantasy VII. It launched last night for Android.
On Android and iOS.
Yes, so now it's on Android and iOS. I think it's been a full year since it
Yes,
launched.
it's been a year since it launched on iOS.
It's been out. It's been a while.
It costs $16 too.
It's got the typical Square Enix $15, $16 price tag that they do with all their big Final Fantasy games, which is a little bit disappointing. But Square Enix does always have these sales where they drop the price down to like a lot.
Yeah.
So if anything, just bookmark it and come back to it later. It's kind of interesting because Square Enix, it's just Android problems, but they only have a very select list of Android devices that are officially supported, and they said, oh, it'll work with most other ones, but just we can't make any guarantees. And then they even listed some bugs that even if your device is officially supported, you can expect to see these bugs, and it was like some random weird stuff that they apparently can't seem to squash, or at least not in time for its release. Which is weird because they just released a buggy product, knowing fully well like we have.
It's a really big buggy product too. It's like 4 gigabytes on your device.
Yes. Initial download is 2 gigabytes, and then once it unpackages all the assets and does all that stuff, it's 4 gigabytes on your phone. So it's gonna be a big one.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried it yet. I kind of wanted just to download it to see what the the visuals look like and stuff. If they just look awful, but from what I've seen of the
I'll
iOS
wait until
version,
they lower the price to like $2.
yeah, $2, $5 maybe. I think I could do like 6 or 7 maybe, but like the polygons and the characters themselves, it looks like the resolution is like a lot higher. Maybe even a little anti-aliasing in there too, so you don't have to expect like SD, like standard definition polygons like they had on the PlayStation 1 back in the day. So it does look a little bit cleaned up, but yeah, there's going to be bugs, which is just, I don't know. When you're investing, it's like over a 40-hour game, and if you're going to be investing that much time and you're going to run into some bug that kind of just screws up everything, it makes me a little bit leery of just playing, especially on an Android device. But it's out. It's Final Fantasy VII. Everyone can go get it if you want to spend that much money. Maybe you have a gift card from Grandma waiting. Yeah, that's my pick.
Cool. Ashley?
My app pick for this week is actually an icon pack. I've been playing Shovel Knight quite a bit on my Nintendo 3DS, and it's really made me nostalgic for that 8-bit art style. So I decided to see if I could find an icon pack that matched that for my phone. And the one I found was called Pixbit Icon Pack. And it looks like that.
I think I've seen that one before, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
Mm-hmm. It's really good. And he has one of the neat things about it is he has an icon request feature that's really simple to use. It just loads all the apps on your phone, and you just tap the icons that you want to request for.
Is it a free icon pack?
Nope, it's $1.49.
Okay.
Yeah,
most of the good icon packs are not free.
Yep.
But I mean, it's a lot of work to make all those icons. So
yes, it is.
Joe would know.
Yeah. I use Candy Cons, which is not free.
I like that one. I have it.
I've been using that for a while now. Every time I make a video, everyone's like, "What icon pack is that?"
Oh, it's the same guy that does Pixbit.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, he does good stuff then. I like your work, sir.
He updates frequently too. That's why I like using his icon packs.
He actually removed the icon requests from Candy Cons because he was getting like flooded with them, so you can't even request icons anymore.
Yeah, his name is really weird. Vukasin Andelakovich. I don't know. It's like Russian or something. But Candy Cons. I've been on this icon pack kick lately because I don't know why, but I've just been like downloading all that I can.
It makes you feel like you have a new phone when your icons look different.
It totally does. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
And like I said, it's a rabbit hole. I mean, once you start using like the first icon
you start getting into Zuper widgets
you're just
and
like,
everything.
This is amazing. Okay, I don't think we have any email questions this week. But if you'd like to email us, you can use our address, podcast at mobile, or excuse me, that was our old email address, podcast at fandroid.com. We got one tweet, but just Toxic Popcorn says, love your Mobile Roar podcast. So thank you.
Oh,
Thank you, Toxic Popcorn.
Don't eat the popcorn now. If you would like to tweet at us, our account is at Mobile Roarcast. But that's going to wrap things up for this week. You can follow us, before I do that, subscribe to the podcast on Google Play, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and whatever your favorite podcasting app is. If you do subscribe to the audio version, please leave us a review on whatever platform you're listening to. We appreciate that. And now you can follow us on Twitter. Chris is at GamerCore. Ashley is at Overlord Roar. I am at Tall Schmo. We will see you guys next week.
Later.
Oh, all the CandyCon, they're all free right now. What's going on? Just download all these.
Mhm.
Oh, CandyCons does look nice.
Mhm. It does. I like it a lot.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Like I have a very specific. I don't know. I have to go through so many different ones. Like I have a very specific want as far as icons. Like I want them to be kind of 3D, but still flat. And
Mhm.
it's been so hard because I've been going through so many different ones, and it's like it's not the look I'm going for. And it's
I
just
know, right?
driving me nuts. Oh shoot! Is he still?
Oh, we're still live.
Freaking Joe guy. Gosh, I hate that Joe guy. Oh shoot, we're live. Sorry, Joe.
Do you have the control to end it? Because I don't.
I think we just all leave the call and then it ends.
All right,
So.
later.
Later.